Manually updating your runoff coefficients, imperviousness, and curve numbers every time a catchment changes can be both time-consuming and error-prone. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to automate that entire process after importing land use and soil data into InfoDrainage from either CAD or GIS. By the end of this workflow, your catchment properties will update automatically as catchment boundaries are modified, making it much faster to evaluate design changes and iterate your model. Let's get started. So for this workflow, you can either work off the InfoDrainage file created in the previous tutorial called Flexible Reporting, or you can work off the file attached to the demo dataset called Catchment Automation. Alright, so once we have that open, we're going to want to delete the existing CAD data and add it back in. So we're going to go to the tree view menu, we're going to right-click CAD data, we're going to select Clear All, press Yes. Then we're going to add it back in, right click and select import data and press select. And then we're going to add in the file called baseline, press open and select next. So once that's loaded in, we could select finish here. So now we're going to import our land use data. So we're going to select the import tab. Then we're going to select the land use icon in the From CAD section. Then we're going to press select. And we're going to open up the file called land use plan. So press open, press next. So once that's loaded, you can see the visual of the CAD file. So it only contains closed polygons and nothing else within the CAD file. So we're going to press next. Then we're going to press finish and press OK. So here you can see it loaded in all the areas, so all the roof areas and all the streets. So the reason I didn't load it in a landscape area outside of the houses and the streets is because you can actually set a default area in the model, which automatically assumes a specific land use that is outside of these defined areas. We will set that to open space grass area, and I'll show you how to do that later in this video. So now we're going to define each land use area. And we can do that by holding Control and left-clicking each house area here. Then we're going to go over to the Properties tab on the right-hand side. Then we're going to change the runoff coefficient to 0.999. And the percent impervious, we're going to keep that as 100. The land use can stay as urban areas. And the cover type, we're going to change that to residential districts 1/8 acre. And we could left click back in the model. And now we're going to select the streets and the sidewalk. So hold Control again and select each area. Then we're going to change the runoff coefficient to 0.999. The percent impervious will stay at 100%. And this will stay at urban areas. And the cover type, we'll change it to impervious areas, streets, and roads, so that we can left click back in the model. Now we're going to set the default area, which is any area outside of these areas distinguished here. So that will be mainly open space grass area. So let's go into the tree view menu and right click land use. Then we're going to select edit. And for the default area, we're going to keep it as urban areas and then keep it as open space. And then we'll keep this as poor condition grass cover. We'll change the runoff coefficient to 0.25 and the percent impervious will be set to 0%. Then we're going to select apply and press OK. So now everywhere outside of these areas distinguished here will be set to open space grass area. So now we're going to import our soil data. So we're going to go to the import tab. We're going to select the soil type icon here within the From CAD section. We're going to press select and then we're going to select the file called soils plan. I'm going to open that, press next. Alright, so once that's loaded in, you can see a preview of the CAD file. So it's a simple file with just polylines of the different soil group areas. So we're going to select finish and press OK. So to establish each soil type for each area, we can simply left click each area and go to the Properties tab and select the soil group within the section here. So you can change this soil group to soil group A, left click the middle, change this to soil group B, then left click the last area here, and we're going to change that to soil group C. So now we're going to configure our catchment area properties. So let's go to the tree view menu, and first we're going to turn off the soil types, and we're going to turn on our inflows. So if you notice they're slightly shifted, you can right click inflows in the tree view menu, press select all, and you could left click and drag the areas and shift them to the proper location here. So while the catchments are selected, you can go to the Properties tab on the right side. Then you can change the runoff method to SCS. So scroll up here, press SCS, and we're going to go to the Advanced tab here and select Use Land Uses / Soil Type Layers. So now what that's done is it's updated all the catchment areas to use the underlying soil type data and land use data. So now if you wanted to review the updated changes, you could go to the Build tab and select Tables. And you can click the drop down for inflows, catchment area, and SES. And you can select preliminary runoff coefficient, select pervious curve number, percent impervious, and composite curve number. So you can see that these values have all been updated using the underlying soil data and land use data. And all of the curve numbers have been calculated using the TR55 method. And this is the most widely accepted method for this calculation. So now we can press OK and exit out of here. So the CN values and the runoff coefficient will automatically be updated with each change in the catchment area. So if I select the catchment here and I move it around, so you can see the curve numbers and the runoff coefficients and the percent impervious values have all been updated on the right hand side. And you can do the same with vertices as well. So you could change the vertices and they will update automatically as well. So alternatively, you can also import data from GIS instead of data from a CAD file. This can be helpful for larger sites. And when you have these shape files with attributes, you can actually map those properties. So I'll run through a quick demonstration here. First, we want to delete the existing land uses. So we can right click them in the tree view menu, press clear all, press yes. Then we can select import and then go to the from GIS section, select land uses. Then we're going to select the shapefile called land use data. I'm going to open that, press next, and press next again, press next. So here, if you have a shapefile with readily available attribute data, you can actually map those attributes to the corresponding map properties here within InfoDrainage. So for cover type, we can select that and select cover type on the left side and press add. Then for imperviousness, select that and select percent impervious here, press add. And then for runoff coefficient, select volumetric runoff coefficient and press add, and we can press next. So now it will ask you to select the corresponding cover type for the corresponding land use. So for here, you can select streets and roads. And for building area, we can select the residential district. Now we can press import and press OK. Now let's hide the inflows. And now all of that data has been updated. So you can see the properties and how the attributes have been mapped accordingly and updated for each one. So this saves a lot of time for these larger sites. And if you have that shapefile and attribute data readily available, it can make this process a lot more seamless. So that concludes this tutorial. You should now be able to import land use and soil data from CAD and GIS and use them to automatically update your catchment properties for your design. This workflow can significantly reduce manual calculations and speed up the modeling process. Thanks for watching.